What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Wood Shop, Good Chop Wood. I'm your host, Big Mike. So today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna test out some finishes and stuff like that. Let me go ahead and grab the stuff real quick so I can show you what I mean. Alright, so I got some Danish oil. I got some spar urethane. I got some mineral spirits. I got some shellac. And over here in this bag that I just picked up, I got some rags, I got some sponge brushes, and I got some regular brushes. But before we go ahead and get with that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna swap out the sandpaper that's on the small sander, and we're gonna go ahead and put 320 grit. I already sanded this down to 220. Most of the crib has already been sanded down to 320. But this is just a small orbital sander. I wish it was the circle one with like the vacuum attachment and stuff like that. Maybe I'll go pick one up, but I don't know where I could get the higher grits. I might have to order that off of Amazon or something, like the little pads that stick to it. I don't know. So let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick that right in there. Pinch that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold it over and cut it back there. Put that sandpaper to the side. I don't throw away those little scraps, and I'll tell you why. So whenever applying Danish oil, you want to sand down all the little nubs and stuff. So all the little dust nibs and stuff. I learned that from a YouTube channel called Woodworker Source. And they actually got some really good content on there that I learned a lot of stuff from. Let me grab I don't know where it's at. Oh well. So I'll put my scissors over here. Danish oil right there. I don't want to spill that. I'm going to grab a quick battery pack. And we're going to get to sanding. So I got a piece of oak. So I got a piece of oak right here. I already planed it down. I don't have a joiner, so I did the best I could with what I got, which is a table saw. And I already sanded it down to 220. This is 320, so let's go ahead and sand it. blade, cut this part off. Kids, don't try that at home. So what I'm gonna do is dust it off real quick. See all that sawdust that just came off? I'm gonna get a microfiber cloth, put some mineral spirits on it, wipe it down. Picked up this pack right here from Harbor Freight. I think it was like $3. Now I think it was on Woodworker Source that I learned about it. But just a little bit. Just wipe it down, get all the dust off. Alright, the piece is all nice and dry now, all nice and smooth. I am going to take this rag, just wipe down my workspace real quick. Then what I'm going to do, so we're going to be testing out 2 finishes today. We're testing out the spar urethane. The lighting in here is a little bit different because I closed the door because I got the heat on, because it is getting kind of cold out there. If need be, I will buy some more lights. Not that big of a deal. So I got these sponge brushes right there, and got some tape. So I'm gonna figure out which out of the 2 works best. I got some frog tape, which we will put on after I soak it in some Danish oil. So what I want to do is I'm going to flip the cloth over. So Danish oil, I believe it's a blend of penetrating oil and varnish. But what I like most about this Danish oil is that it brings out the natural color in the wood. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit here on the rag. I recommend putting gloves on for this. Let me see if I have any. Oh yeah, I do. I see them right here. These gloves aren't the cleanest. They're all dusty, but got some black gloves right here. Tell you what, it's significantly a lot warmer in here already. So Danish oil, I'm gonna go ahead and move this light. there. Move this heater back. Alright, so Danish oil. So wood is generally going to be very thirsty, but man, look how good that looks. Oh crap. So what I do is I let this sit and soak it in. And while that's soaking in, let me see if I have a smaller piece of sandpaper. I'm gonna have to find a better mounting position for this light. If I have a smaller piece of sandpaper. You also have to be very careful because there is some fumes associated with that. What's up? I'm gonna just use this little piece of sandpaper. Sand it down. Go ahead and put a little bit more Danish oil on it. Now, because of whatever was happening in the world in 2020, Danish oil was very hard to come by because a lot of DIYers were buying up the stuff. So some would say that this is already good to go, but I want to be able to protect the wood on the crib for years and years to come. Oh, don't forget to put the top back on the Danish oil. I am going to open up that door because the fumes are starting to get kind of crazy in here. Again, hit it with my 320 grit. And I'm gonna bring it outside so you can see how beautiful it looks in natural sunlight. So that's untreated for the most part, and that's treated. Now what you want to do is let this sit in for about 10 minutes and then wipe off the excess. For my maple table, however, I let it sit overnight because that was on an exposed pallet. But this brings out the natural sheen and the natural color of the wood. So Danish oil just works miracles. Like, you can see some oil leak through here, which isn't that big of a deal. That's what you expect. Having some knots and knots and imperfections in your wood. Alright, now I'm gonna let that dry and I'll see you guys back here in a second. Wow, look at that. I don't even think I need to wipe off any excess. Oh, it looks so good. That's what it looks like natural, aside from that. So with just polyurethane, not polyurethane, Danish oil. So it just makes the natural colors pop. You see. There's a little bit of oil, but that's not bad. So let's go ahead and bring it inside. Now, put my gloves back on. So we have 3 different finishes. We could just leave it at Danish oil, or we could tape it off, or we are going to tape it off, and then we're going to try one with the spar urethane, one with sorry, I'm going to need this. I should probably put the dang screws on. This. So I got some frog tape here. Put the cover back on for the frog tape. I don't use any other tape to block paints and stains, I'll tell you that much. Alright, so now just to be on the safe side, find a dry spot on the rag, wipe it off. Cool. Now that I did that, we'll go ahead and grab the 2 smallest brushes. The reason why I want to do the smallest ones is because we're just doing a tester sample piece. So, and we're using 2 because I got the spar urethane and the shellac. So I think I'm going to do the shellac first, or not the shellac, the spar urethane first. And then I'll do that on this piece right here. So I already went ahead and popped the can open. That's what it looks like on the inside. It looks like a really, really dark honey. just take it, dip my brush in it, spin it around, because I have not used this in some time. It's been a while. I don't really need a lot because I'm just doing a small piece, but it gets very sticky. So that's why I want to work away from me. And you want to do this with the door open. Slide that over there, pull up my shellac, pop that off, same thing, spin it around. I'm gonna slide this down this way. And this is a clear shellac by Zinsser. All right. I think I'm gonna fix that line right there. So the spar urethane is a lot thicker. This is what I use on my niece's stool. I made her a step stool. Just do nice, even strokes. I'll put that right there. I'm gonna let it dry. But first I'll bring it outside so you guys see what it looks like with natural sunlight. So not the biggest difference, but that looks like it has more of a glaze on it. That is a lot more natural. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and let it dry. I'm gonna turn off the generator, let it get cooled down, and then see what my girl thinks about the finish on this. So yeah. I'm gonna leave this on the hood of the car to dry out. See you guys back here in a bit. I almost forgot. You should sand in between coats. So got some 320 grit. So that way it gives it the smoothest finish. Wayo. There we go. This one is already starting to dry. No problem. But yeah, I just want to make sure I gave it an even treatment. And then, yeah, I'll see you guys back here in a bit. Once it dries out, I'm going to just let it sun bake because the sun is pretty strong right now. So the next coat I won't be sanding, and then we'll see how it goes from there. Alright, so first layer is pretty much dry. I'm gonna go ahead and do the spar urethane first. Yeah, you don't want to slop it on really heavy. And if you see any nibs in there, you could go ahead and sand those down. All right. So that, again, that was the spar urethane, and then this is the shellac. All right, so what do you guys think so far? Let me bring those closer. So what do you guys think? You guys like the urethane, or you guys like the shellac better? I don't know, leave it down in the comment section what you guys think. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and let that sun bake again, let it dry. There's a nice breeze out here, so we'll see how it looks in about 10-15 minutes.